My literacy journey starts out much the same as most people. Your parents read to you, you read picture books, you did all of those fun things. And like most people, I read a lot when I was little. And I got really interested in reading a lot because both my parents read a lot. They definitely really inspired me to read. My dad would always have a book. He would take a book everywhere we went. I mean, he would read in the bathtub, he would read on the boat, he would read everywhere. And my mom, she read more professional literature than my dad did. My dad read a lot of fiction, and my mother had to read a lot of professional literature. Because my dad was retired, he had time to read fiction books and really focus on his love of sci-fi and fantasy. There was a time where I didn't read, though, and what ruined reading for me was Accelerated Reader. And I'm sure most of you that are in your 20s probably have dealt with Accelerated Reader. And at the time where I went to school, which was a small private school, we had a very small amount of books that were Accelerated Reader and on my reading level. So it was very frustrating. I really stopped reading at that point because they made taking a certain number of Accelerated Reader tests mandatory. And forcing kids and making anything mandatory is, of course, the best way to get them to not want to do it. I came back to reading when I was, 3rd or 4th grade. I mean, I stopped reading regular books, but I started reading this Japanese manga, which at the time was not very popular, and is of course very popular today. Now, here I am, 3rd, 4th grade, reading these manga, and it's basically comic books, but from Japan, for those of you that don't know. And I mean, I'm reading like 3, 4, 5 a week. I read them a lot. I would take giant stacks of them everywhere, and I would reread them because they were so short. In my busy life, I read sporadically. I read a lot on the weekends sometimes, and I read a little bit of everything now. I read a little bit of fantasy, I read a little bit of romance, I read a little bit. The way I do a lot of my reading nowadays is actually through audiobooks in the car, and I drive about an hour to get to work every day, so it's very awesome to be able to sit in the car and listen to a book and just be so enthralled and actually not want to get somewhere really fast. I inspire others to read actually at my job. I work at a school and I teach RTI, which is called Reading to Intervention, and I work with kids in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade on different reading skills. My favorite book that I've read in the last year, it was an audiobook I listened to actually, and I kind of picked it up by chance. It's this secondhand store called McKay's that we have down here in Tennessee, and it's by Lisa C., and it's actually a series. The first book is Shanghai Girls, and it's about 2 sisters immigrating from China during the Japanese-Chinese